Late September, and with 10 games played, Ipswich City and Liverpool are making the pace. Meanwhile, Clough's Leeds United had made a faltering start. Only 2 wins in the first 10, as they went to Goodison Park, Everton.
Still not really away. Here comes Sargent. Steve Harvey completely. Jordan, Clark coming in. Offside, is he? No. Clark scores for Leeds. And Everton now have pushed 9 players forward for this corner. Only Bernard has hung back, and even he is in an attacking position. In fact, they've got 10 forward now. Latchford. Oh, yes! Lyons. Nick Lyons, the scorer. Buckley for Everton. Clements outside him. Gets round the back of Reaney. Connolly, still there. Connolly, it's there, but it's a goal, yes. Clements got the final touch, but Connolly will get the credit, and David Harvey may have to take part of the blame.
Defeat at Everton was the final straw for Brian Clough. His reign at Leeds ended after just 44 days in charge.
The final hours of Brian Clough as manager of Leeds United were rather bizarre. He arrived for the new-style afternoon training he'd instituted with the comment,
"I've got work to do, will you please let me get on with my work?"
Yeah.
Then, watched by Terry Cooper, whose debated transfer provided the first clue to the problems at Elland Road, he proceeded to work in near silence with his players, 2 of whom, according to one of the squad, seemed to want to be the manager.
I think it's a very sad day for Leeds. I think it's slightly sad for football.
Why is he going, Mr. Cousins? I mean, there is no answer to that question.
Because we've been spoilt by Don Revie. A new manager coming after 13 or 14 years of success, it is very difficult to follow.
Directors hire managers and directors sack managers. The players don't hire and sack managers. It's up to directors at football clubs. The guys gave off their best when they were actually playing, because I was at 2 or 3 of them games, and the boys couldn't duck on anything because they were too honest to duck on it.
Obviously, it's inevitable. I made a few mistakes during the 44 days.
What sort of mistake?
Well, perhaps I didn't give them chance enough to get over the guy that was there before me, because he was there for a long, long time. Perhaps I wanted to, get with them the same feeling as they'd had with the other guy. I'm loath to mention him, and if we can refrain from doing it, we'll do so.
It's really like the other House of Commons. You hate to mention him. Why?
I hate to mention him. Why? Because he's a very talented man, and I don't like him. Don't ask me why. Because that's exactly what. He's a very, very talented man, and his record is unsurpassable. But I just don't happen to like him, and I don't like the way he goes about football.
Why don't you want me to ask why you don't like him?
Because I can't tell you. It's impossible. We'd get closed down, David.
Cloughie wasn't the only person gunning for Revie. A strong Czech team flew into London for a European Championship qualifier at Wembley. Revie's first game in charge.
After months of planning, travelling and watching dozens of football matches, England's new manager, Don Revie, finally walked out onto the pitch at Wembley to watch his squad play soccer.
First impressions were important to Revie, who tried his best to win over his New England squad. Unfortunately, his efforts had quite the opposite effect.
He came out and he said, "Listen, lads," he said, "I've managed to get your appearance money raised from 100 quid to 300 quid. Now, if you were picked for England, you'd pay 3 million quid to play for your country." And he said, "I've got you 300 quid, lads." And I've looked at Bally. Bally's looked at me and we've gone, "I don't believe what he's just said." And I think he was virtually money ruled.
Booking going up ahead. Thomas out to the right. And the referee will surely have to at least talk about it in. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you're brought down every time you go past a player, you've got no chance. Thomas again with the cross. Here's Shannon getting out. Shannon. Andrews looks at the referee about that tackle from Keegan. To Bell. Keegan. Bell, he was pulled a bit. Here's Shannon, they're queuing at the far post. Bell! And England, true to their word, they got one and they've been looking for more ever since, and now they've got three. Not sure how much Colin Bell knows about it. But look at Don Revie now.
A championship threat was beginning to emerge from the unlikely surrounds of East Anglia.
Ipswich Town Football Club.
Encourage him, go on, encourage him, Trevor, go on. Go on, son, strong as a
Future England boss Bobby Robson was grooming a team of potential champions. Trevor Wymark knocked him in, Alan Hunter kept him out.
Without being too cocky, I think there are matches that we can win, and if we win, we're top of the league. And once you get to the top of the league, anything can happen once you got there.
Liverpool would be a real test.
Keegan. Highway. Mills didn't take it. Johnson. Needs help. Talbot. Yes! And look at the difference now in the expressions.
Derby were running into form, bolstered by new signings Francis Lee and Bruce Rioch.
Newton. Taken by Harper. Hector is the player down there. Lee. Newton. Rioch. Well, I must say one would have put money on him. It was on his favourite left.
Derby's win over Ipswich added to the congestion at the top. The championship was wide open with 4 points between the top 12. Former City favourite Francis Lee returned to Main Road with his new club Derby County, who were closing in on the leaders.
There's Davis. Gemmell. Brave header by Newton, who now has a chance. And scores superbly. Hartford. Marsh. Bell. Nish. Lee. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh! Look at his face! Just look at his face!